Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Married at First Sight All Star Panel. Jack and Glenn, August Love Story, and special guest Quad. What's up, Quad?
Hey,
Oh man, welcome to another panel discussion of Married at First Sight. Man, we got a lot to talk about today. These couples, man, these men on these shows, Tommy, they ain't doing so hot, brother. Brothers, they ain't got no backbone, man. But first of all, how y'all feeling? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good, man. We sitting over here. Everybody's waking up from a nap, so we all good. And yeah, this episode's crazy.
yeah.
It's definitely crazy, man. It just brothers ain't got. I don't know what they ain't building dudes like they used to, and they used to be on Married at First Sight, man.
That's sad. I think Austin is pretty good though.
Yeah, these dudes. Let's speaking of that. Let's start with man Orion and Lauren, man. Your thoughts on those two when they sat and told their family and friends that they call it quits.
I think I think hey Sharon. I think Orion is kind of regretting the way that he went out. He wasn't I don't think he thought it all the way through. Like it was something that first off, my first thought was, why are they on here? What else do they have to, y'all quit. So like, bye. But then listening to the conversation, you're like, oh, okay. He's kind of like regretting, kind of wishing that, well, I felt like he was wishing that he would have kept going and stuff like that. So with Lauren, she was just like, I like her sister. What she was saying, like, don't see him, don't talk to him, don't do this, don't do that. And you kind of can respect that because the one thing that did make sense was they felt the way. They've only known each other for a week and they, was having all these feelings. I'm sorry. If I know a person for a week and a person says they don't like me, I'll move right on along to the person that I'm supposed to. But the next person I meet, the next person in line. So it's that was the weirdest thing for me is that they felt that way. And I was like, I don't understand this, guys.
Yeah, that was me too. I'm like, after a week, all right, sorry, no, we just went on a trip together. That's all I. That's the only thing I'll look at it like. We just went on a trip together. I don't owe you nothing. You don't owe me nothing. I knew we was married technically, but I'm like the sister-in-law too. Like, I don't need to ever see you ever again.
Right.
Go ahead, and sign it. Go ahead and sign the paperwork. Get your stuff done, and you know what, bro? We can be living Denver big enough that we ain't never got to see each other.
Never.
Yeah. Man, it was crazy because they like my thought on it was it's like you went on, like you said, you go on a trip, you meet somebody on the trip, then you go back home. Like I don't like this person does not exist in my life, but you have to go through the motions of getting a divorce and stuff like that. But I imagine that they can just cancel it out because it was a week. I don't know the rules, and RT could be talking about the rules all the time, annulments and stuff like that. But I imagine that they'll be like, okay, we'll let them out of this thing scot free or whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's pretty much all. I literally was like, why are they on here and stop listening to them?
I know. I did too. I was like, okay. But I mean, they've done that before.
Yeah,
Like I was telling Glenn. So obviously their family and friends already know. So they just have to do something for the show where
yeah.
they're talking to them. But I think and I still think it's funny. I think Lauren's brother and sister-in-law, Marcellus and Marcelette. I don't know how you match that up. That's
Their
crazy.
name.
Yes, Marcellus and Marcelette. Yeah.
Okay.
What are the chances? But anyway, I think they gave her, some really good advice. I didn't get that from Orion's friend. He was just really listening. But they really encouraged her, to get that you can get past this, and you couldn't have been in it by yourself. Both of y'all have to put forth the effort. But I understand why they did it, but I was too. I was like, I don't want to see them. I have nothing that I want to hear from them. Not really.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna do it again next week.
Yo, y'all know why? Because they
That
only
would
got three couples, man. They got to find film time.
I was gonna say that would have been a better conversation to see them on this episode, like the next episode we're gonna watch, or I think they sit down with Dr. Pia.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been better for them to on this episode instead of that quick look, because that was the only time we saw them. They had like 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes on the screen, and then they were gone for the rest of the episode. So it's forcing us to talk about them because they were there. But
Mm-hmm.
they said he said something. I just looked at my notes. He was like he lost romantic interest, and I'm like, how did like when did like is that even worth? Is that enough time to say? Is that enough time to find romantic interest? Like I feel like that's a infatuation that he
Mm-hmm.
stopped having, the infatuation that of whatever he's infatuated with, but I don't think it was like romantic or oh that's Artique is in the back. She said it was black culture is what he was infatuated.
Infatuated with the black,
Right.
her blackness.
The black
Right.
woman.
But I feel like for what happened between them, for your infatuation to disappear over something that she didn't even say, you sound real silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like her. She doesn't know what redskin is. I feel like she kind of like called me a redskin. No, what?
Like that's the thing that we talked about in our review was you when I've never been in a interracial relationship, so I don't know the ins and out of it, right? But certain aspects of it, you have to have some grace. I think not Doctor, but Pastor Kyle told them this. You got to have some type of grace within it, but you also have to understand that people don't know your culture. You know, and for indigenous people, their culture is the least known, I would say, because we don't see it. We're not like black culture is exploited because we see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So you get these other cultures that think saying the N-word is okay because we say it all the time, or think, you know, when like rap and hip hop was cool, or you know, that's the only thing we do. All these different stereotypes. I don't know what just happened there. He was cool.
That right.
And now she gonna messed up the party.
I just
What you got over there? That's oh okay. Anyway, but I don't forgot what I said. She distracted me. But I think that's what it is because we don't see indigenous people's culture, and what's taught to us is, you know, it's only a blip in the whole book, you know, where it's more historical facts to be out there. But so that's why I think there should have been more grace. There should have been more understanding of not knowing of your culture, because you can just turn on TV and you see black culture, you know. So yeah, man, it's a big blow up for no reason, and we'll see it. I'm looking forward to the reunion with them just to see what their responses was, you know. So
Yeah.
I like the point that you make for real, because like I've never been in an interracial relationship either, but understandably, you're gonna have to come into it with some grace and trying to help each other understand, because you may have I hate this dude. You may have had black friends, you may have
right.
had white friends, but you ain't never been with one. So okay, what's it really like?
Like 24 hours. I mean, no, I mean, you got a good point there. You ain't been with me 24 hours, right? Your black friends 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever the case may be.
School day.
A school day, but you ain't been with us 24 hours. But we sitting there watching the news and this happened, or we're sitting there, you're at the family reunion and this take place, or you're at the neighborhood and or the dude at the grocery store said something out the way to me because of my blackness. How do you handle it? Those issues that you got to deal with, right? And how do you handle those? Quick story. We had a friend that's married to a black woman.
Oh yeah.
And they was in the grocery store together. And this lady at the cash register got
in Virginia. They're not from Virginia.
Yeah.
They're here in Virginia. Okay.
Yeah, and they got, and the lady at the cash register got at the gate because he was at the register, and
his black wife had her
herself.
Groceries on there too, and the cashier kept like trying to separate it, and he was like, "No, it's together," and she was like, "What? What?"
Right, so you got to deal with those things, like defending her. Like, I want to see would he be able to defend her in that type of situation, right? Show enough grace to defend her in that situation because he felt really offended about all his stuff and never even thought about how she may feel to be
Yeah.
offended by you
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
you offended her, but he made it all about him. So I mean, I don't want to spend that much time on him, but that's what it is.
Right.
It's
I want to say one more thing, then I'm gonna let it go. The the issue that I had with the whole thing was you have to figure out how to sugarcoat everything
Mm-hmm.
in that in from what we saw in their relationship. So it's like you're putting more thought into how to be with this person as well as trying to get to know this person. And
Mhm.
that's what the thing that I was like, their culture different cultural, or they're trying to tiptoe around each other's culture and not offend each other, is putting another hurdle or obstacle in their way of actually being successful in this marriage. So just trying to like sitting there, you like conversations come natural between me and Artika. I'm pretty sure you guys as well. And
Mhm.
it's not that you're thinking, okay, is this gonna be offensive? Is this gonna be
Right.
harmful? This
Right.
gonna, am I disrespecting him, her in any type of way or anything? And y'all just having conversations, understanding this is how I talk, this is how we talk to each other, this is how we communicate. Now you add an extra level of you don't want to be disrespectful to your culture, right? He don't want to say the N word, but what happens if he does? You know, he got offended by her saying he has red skin. Well, you did, you know. So it's like those little different things. It's like you don't give it time to actually present itself and learn how to communicate around it, because my thought process is I would think in some type of interracial relationship they say offensive things to each other, so
Laugh at offensive jokes, right?
right.
Yeah.
Like you can't watch it. I mean, I always think about that too. Like, are you watching Dave Chappelle? Or are you watching, like, with your Caucasian wife? I'm just like, how do you
Right,
take?
yeah.
Or you watching a joke where they use?
Does she laugh out
Do she
loud?
laugh? Do she laugh out loud when they constantly say the N word and you offended, right? In jokes. Like,
Yeah,
what you laughing for?
Like when they talk, you make a joke about CP time.
right.
You
Like,
can't laugh at that. You can't laugh at that.
but it's those things that we're not allowed to manifest and to figure out. So it's
Yeah.
like
Right.
they're struggling with that, and now they got us talking about them for 13 minutes. I'm sorry, but but
It is perfectly fine.
but
It's
yeah,
about
that's
3
the
times as long as they was on the show.
yeah, right. Man, but I didn't. That's all pretty much all I
That's all.
have.
Yeah, that's all I got for them. But it's job. I mean, it's something that need to be discussed about them because they keep showing us them. So I guess we have to keep saying something about them.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely. I want to touch on Claire and Cameron, man, and his bike shop, and this is the thing, Tommy. If you and Artiga was planning for a party, 'cause we both married, and you were supposed to pick up the food, but you came home with nothing. Dog, that is I told Jackie, I said, yo, that's an argument in our house, right? Like,
where's the food?
Where's the food at?
I didn't understand that at all. Like I'm like, dude, you have one job, one thing to do. Go get the food. And if your concern was the food's not gonna be hot, you got two options. You can put it in the oven, you go pick it up, put it in the oven, or say, hey, I was gonna go pick it up at 6:30. The party starts at 7. I'll be back by 6:50.
Yep.
It's already been ordered. But to know that food is taken care of, it's one less thing she has to be concerned about, because she's concerned about making sure this party is a good party. You know what I'm saying? So it's I hate to use this thing because I don't like it, but happy wife, happy life. Like it's what they say, happy spouse, happy house. It's that thing. Just do your part, do what you're supposed to do, bring home the bacon, and everybody's happy because you knew the party. Now I can understand if he didn't have a clue. You know what I'm saying? He ain't have the clue that he was supposed to do this. She never said it or anything like that. But he came in the house like, hey, honey, I'm home. Where's the food? Oh, I didn't get it. and then the excuse he made, I don't even remember the excuse, but it was stupid. I was like, bro, like,
I don't even think he had one. He just was like, he was
He
still,
didn't
he wouldn't have one.
respond to her asking about the food. He then made it seem like it was her fault for asking about the food when he placed the order, and it was like, it's going to be ready in 15 minutes. You didn't know this beforehand? Why did you order it in the app?
And then got the food, brought it home, and never cut the oven on. Because she was like, this food is still cold. Bro, like, what is your problem? I don't think he wants to. It's like, I don't want to say it's his culture. Like, is it culture or just his the way
Lack
he
of
was
awareness.
the way he was raised?
I said the last. I don't think he's been in too many relationships. He might have seen TV and think how this is supposed to be, right? I think even when he ran to the line, I'm financially. When the friends asked him, why do you want to be married? Well, I'm financially stable. I'm good. I think I'm a good guy. This, that, and the other. It was never like, I found somebody who I can be with. I want to find somebody I can make grow old with or make a plan with. It's like he even with the intimacy thing, he wants her to jump his bones. Like, bro, that doesn't happen. There's some things you're gonna have to do in the day process, and you're gonna have to work up to the fact of intimacy, right?
Right.
You're gonna have to deal with it. She's not just gonna look at you like, oh, that's my husband Cameron, and hey, let's go hop in the sack. Oh, let's be hold his hand. There's gonna be some things that you're gonna have to do, make her feel comfortable, and vice versa. That she's gonna have to do, she's gonna have to do, make him feel comfortable to initiate some type of intimacy. But every time you hear him talk, he talks about intimacy. He talks about her not liking him or her not doing things for him. And I think that's the issue that he has because he expects this to be a relationship he saw, but it's not moving in that way.
Yeah. That's the thing that he brought it up to her friends, I believe, that he didn't feel like she liked him and wasn't wanting to be intimate with him and stuff like that. And I was like, have you told her this? Is this something that you guys have talked about? Because I'm pretty sure they're in it and they're trying to make sure this thing works. Because at the beginning of the episode, I was like, oh, okay, they turning a new page. She went out, brought him a sandwich that she ate the other half too. And, they in the bike shop, she doing her thing. He's showing her and they having conversations. So they turn the leaf. And then next thing you know, he comes home without food. He's saying she looks stressed. And then telling her friends that she doesn't seem to be into him. And he's wanting to be more intimate. I'm like, bro, but you haven't done the easy part. Every step you take forward, you take 4 steps backwards because you come home with no food. You seemingly don't care about anything that she's, herself. It's almost as if he's brushing her feelings under the rug a little bit. You lied to her about the dad thing. Like, your dad is dying, and you tell her friends that, and this is the first time you told her that your folks knew about the getting married and stuff like that. But then now you find out your dad is on his deathbed, and you like, how do I tell him that? I was like, bro, like, you ain't trying to be intimate with this woman. You just trying to get her check.
He had to have been one of those people that the producers found. Like, we got a great girl here. We need a guy.
Yeah. And I think she's awesome, and I know the hard part for her is putting aside her therapist brain or counselor, whatever she is, and putting that aside to actually learn who this guy is and actually try to be with this guy. Because it's a lot of stuff going on that I'm like, whoa, man, I would have been left.
Yeah, I think that was key too, man. I think she was really hurt by the whole father situation. Like, you didn't tell me this. You had opportunity to tell me. We had plenty of discussion for you to say this. It took my friend jokingly ask a question, right, for you to answer the fact, or you to tell me that your father is like on his deathbed, like he could die any day now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he did die any day now, like, are we going back to New Zealand, or are you just going back? How do you show me to the family? Like, that's a bad situation to come back. You come back for your father's funeral and you're married. Like you didn't tell anybody else, and the family that you with or your real cousin here, they didn't tell anybody neither. Like when were you gonna let them know about me? I know the plan was us to go back to New Zealand and do a wedding, but how do you just pop up with a woman that you're gonna marry? Like share with your family. Hey, by the way, I'm in the United States. I've signed up for. You ain't gotta sign up for this TV show. I met a girl and we got married.
Can I say this though? I dare say, if his dad is on his deathbed, he would love to have something else to think about besides the fact that I'm dying.
Yeah.
I think you could share that with him. What kind of conversations do you have with him? If you ever, when you've been around, I'm a nurse for one. For two, my dad passed away. So when I went to see him those last few days, like I talked to him, I wasn't just like, it wasn't just like, how you feeling? What's going on in your body? It was, hey, we had a good day at church today. We had to make sure we came to see you. Glenn is here, that kind of thing. Like, so what else were you talking to him about? It makes me think you just don't talk to your dad.
Right.
You must just don't talk to him.
I don't get it, because it's like, why don't you talk to her and tell her the situation? Because I mean, like, she can't judge you on it. Right? And so if I'm trying to get to know you, hey, this is what's going on with my dad. This is how it looks. I haven't said this. I haven't said that. I don't know how to approach this thing. That's okay. I think personally, I think that's okay. But it's just knowing, like, getting into how do you, like, what is your relationship like? Nobody knows that. This second mention of your parents. What about the friends that are there? Like, do you talk to them about that? Like, what's truly going on, and open up to this woman. If your main goal is to be intimate with this woman, you're gonna have to be you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to let some secrets out.
And that's the key, Tommy. You're gonna have to open up. If you want her,
that's the word I was looking for. Open up.
Well, I say you can't say if you want her to open up, you gotta open up. But it's a whole different.
No,
but you kind of say if you want to open up, you got.
Yeah, right.
I'm right, but you want her to open up, you gotta have to open up.
I got you.
It goes to, I think him, like so many other people, don't understand that intimacy is not just physical. Intimacy is emotional. Intimacy is a connection. So you might not get to the physical intimacy until you have emotional intimacy, mental intimacy. You know what I'm saying? So I like, dude, just tell her, hey, she shouldn't have to ask. And what question could she have asked specifically to make him say that? Anyway, she asked, does your family know? Yeah, sure. Yes. So how about, I have this idea if we go to New Zealand afterwards, She asked you, what other kind of way would she be asking you, unless she said, so how's the health of your parents? Just wondering.
Right. Like that would never come up in conversation.
No, you would have to volunteer it.
Yeah, you would. It's something. Hey, this is what's going on with my folks. Boom, boom, boom. Well, I was looking at Chocolate Queen's comment, and that's it say that. That's the whole point. Like, I don't have a great relationship with my folks. That's something, some information that's necessary to understand how you and your folks get along. Why wouldn't they know? Because that's, why wouldn't your parents know that you're getting married? That's something you would want to know. You don't have to know the ins and outs of the details, but you would have to know, hey, my relationship with my folks aren't that great. I don't call them. They don't call me. My dad is dying. I don't really know how to mend that. I don't even know if I want to mend that. You know what I'm saying? Those are real feelings. And she would have to, at that point, she has to take off her hat and be a friend, be a spouse to him at that point. And then she has to make the decision of how she's going to approach it, because now she has the information, and him wanting to be more intimate with her. If that's his goal, I'm just like, bruh, make it make sense.
That's it. Make it make sense. That's the key part there. Make that jump make sense, because again, what you're doing, you're not doing the correct thing with her to open her up to get some loving, or to get to know you. She wants to know you. She knows she's a therapist, so she's inquisitive. She knows things. Not that she's trying to dissect you, but she wants to understand what makes you tick, and
Yeah.
she needs that in order to give you what you need.
And they could relate on the family thing because her family's close, you know, it's a whole big thing with them. And so she could sympathize with you. Okay, so you know, family's important to me. Oh, so you don't have that relationship with your family. She can maybe try to help you with that. You know, she wants to understand. And okay, if your family's not there, then let me bring you into mine. We have a whole network that we can support you. We can, you know, like, but you have to give her that information so she can, I don't know. And then again, bro, you gonna bring that up in front of other people?
Right. Just all willy-nilly. Just all right, people. My dad's dying.
Yeah.
Now what do we do?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
bro, you just changed the whole mood of the
The whole party, dog.
Yeah.
Like, golly, man.
The whole make of the party is just totally just changed, right? It went from up here to like, oh dang, dude, dad died.
Right. Like, how do we like? We can't even say we'll drink. Let's drink to that. You know, just like what did you say? They already had a. I thought their party was pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Nothing but
anything but a cup.
What is it? No cups or
anything but a cup.
Anything
but a cup. And like I thought that was pretty cool, pretty fascinating and stuff like that. But it's like, bro, like we're drinking out of pots and vases and stuff like that, man. Then you bring up your dad dying. I'm like, come on, brother.
Hey, right. In a room full of therapists, and you expect them not to keep going.
Now he did say something that made sense to me, that it's intimidating that all her friends are therapists.
Yeah.
And everybody's analyzing him and everything like that. So I could see how that could be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just feels like you're going in a therapy session that you're being ganged up on, you know, because nobody was there for him, which makes me question, like, what's going on with your people?
Like, what friends do you really have, right?
Right, because somebody's getting, like, I think what he said was they were getting ready for their trip.
Yeah.
If their trip wasn't tomorrow, I don't see why they couldn't stop by and say hi.
For an hour,
right?
30 minutes.
And one of her friends is kind of dating his friend, so they like, you could have invited those two to come over,
right?
Yeah, but when, yeah,
I don't know, man, bro. Their relationship. We didn't do this last week. Probably do this at the end of the show. Their relationship to me is weird. He wants stuff that he's not willing to give, and she wants stuff that he's not able to give right now.
I don't think he knows how to, like you said earlier, I don't think he knows how relationships really work.
Mm-mm.
You know, I don't think he understands the give and take. And like you said, like you brought up when he was like, why did they ask him, why did he do Married at First Sight? He was like, everything fell in line and I thought it was time to, you know, be married. And I think he's looking at, oh, it's an arranged marriage. And so she has to automatically be my wife, and they don't, like, he almost acting as if he doesn't know that there's a decision there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like,
and
this is it.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Chocolate Queen. You know, she could have asked those questions, but again, I don't think I've ever asked a question, you know, when I was dating, like, what's the health of your parents, right? You can say how your parents feeling, what your parents know about, you know, he could have provided that information much more easier to her asking that information. When you talk about family, I mean, it makes you question, what did they talk about on the honeymoon, right? What kind of discussions did you guys have? I would say, oh, my sister does this, my brother does this, my dad does this, and, you know, by the way, my father is sick. You know, we really got to get back to New Zealand sometime because I need to check on my phone. But if you remember from the first few episodes, he doesn't have a good relationship with his family.
Yeah.
The way it's down. Like, that's why he's living with his family in Denver. Him and his family, their shit wasn't as tight.
But no, that's not why he decided to try something new coming to the United States. So
yeah. But his mom's from the United States.
Yeah, I was gonna say he been in the United States for a very long time.
Yeah, his mom's from the United States, so they traveled. Then I think they went back to New Zealand, and so we'll see. Let's move on to.
Can I just say this real quick? But they again, Claire and Cameron built me up just to let me down. This is what
every time
Married at First Sight does. Because the bike thing, when she went to the shop, I was really feeling like, yay! And then it just went downhill.
Yeah.
The bike thing was cool.
Right. You got high hopes at the bike, and then
Yeah.
here it is, this party. You're like, what happened?
He dropped the bombshell. She felt like you left me out.
Yeah,
But
I'm like,
again,
she has a right to.
yeah.
Because she was believing something else.
Uh-huh.
You know, she was still on the "we gonna go to New Zealand" type of deal
Mm-hmm.
to introduce me to his family. But I mean, that ain't, I don't know, man. It did. It just went. It was up at the beginning, and then it just went down.
Yeah.
I even had hopes when he was talking to her friends, like, "Hey, he knows what he wants. He's just feeling the type of way because she doesn't give where he feels like he's putting 60% in, she's only giving him 30. And it's like that's a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, hey,
Yeah.
what do I need to do? And then at the end, I'm sorry, this is
No,
it.
you good. No, you go ahead. You good.
At the end, because stuff is just coming up, and I'm like, oh, this happened too. But at the end, when they were just sitting on the couch talking to each other, she was like, "What do you need?" He was like, "Nothing." Bro, you just explained to her friends what you needed.
Right.
Right. He can't. I told you he can't communicate. At that moment, he needed to open up. When a woman asks you what you need, bruh, go ahead and just.
That's why I say if she asked him questions, he still wouldn't have given her information. She could have had a whole list of questions, and he would have gave that same dry stuff like he did in that moment.
Yeah.
Just real quick, 'cause I just watched the after party for this last episode. Yes, everybody in there was gonna say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody on that after party. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
That sucks. That sucks so bad.
It's awful, man.
So let's go to the one we're holding out hope for.
Becca and Austin, man. Tell me.
And mind you, they weren't on the after party.
They were
Neither
not
one of them
after
were on
party.
the after party.
Tell me your thoughts on Becca and Austin, man.
I just love this couple. They are bubbly the way you want to see the success of it. Of it all with them. She woke up, it was a birthday. And they just like the laughs and the enjoyment, it seems very genuine between them. I'm trying to really remember what happened with them. So I know, yeah, they went out to eat with her friends. The friends was like loving him. She want to give him some booty, and it's like, all right, he's in the driver's seat. You know, he can have it when he wants it. I think I said the biggest issue that they're going to have is the religion thing, but I think they're perfect about what they're doing just because they're not talking about it right now. It's not a big deal to them, and they've planned on coming back to it. And so I think that's the best approach to it because they have two different religions or believe in two different systems. They that's something like they're like, it's really dependent upon their children. How do we raise these children? But they ain't thinking about kids right now. They're trying to figure out, do I like you and do you like me? So I'm curious to see what the first hurdle they have, really true falling out or argument they have, because we all know things aren't going to be perfect all the time, so I'm really curious to see how that looks. What was their party?
They just had the charcuterie board.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything in particular.
Yeah. He said the perfect question. They were talking about something. He was like, what do I do to not become one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her exes. And I was like, perfect question. Great wording. The friends already like you. She already likes your friend. And they were the highlight of the episode, like the goodness of the episode.
Yeah. And they are cute together.
Yeah.
They both
it's weird cute.
Yes, I was gonna say cute and goofy and quirky.
Yeah,
yes.
You like that, and you hope, you're rooting for them, and
right.
You hope everything they do, who they win, right? Will be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Like you want them to, they are the reason that you tune in every week to see them, and I hope that nothing breaks them apart.
Right, because you enjoy their attitude towards the whole thing. I like how she was like saying that, if he needs to table something, he always comes back to it. Like that's something that we would like all of us aren't good at. We'll say we'll talk about it later and we forget about it. But the fact that he comes back to it, that's a good thing. The fact that he's making her happy, doing the things that he needs to do to actually get to know her a little bit better, as well as her I assume her on the other end. Things are aligning perfectly for them. So hopefully what they build, the foundation that they're building now helps them get over those arguments that they'll have later, because we know they're coming. And I think that's what I'm waiting on. It's like, what are y'all going to argue about? What are y'all going to disagree about?
Right. And they're building a good foundation, as you mentioned. I think the foundation they're building is great. They're having that conversation. They're tabling things, and he's using wisdom. Let's talk about this. Like when the religious thing came up during the honeymoon, he's like, can we wait till after the honeymoon? Because again, he didn't want to destroy the moment, right? And that is, to me, shows growth and maturity from him. I'm saying, you know what, let's table this, let's move it on, and let's wait. And their friends do a good job. They get along. And I think his friend Derek had a great thing. He's like, look, he doesn't force his religion on me. I don't think he's going to force it on you. But I think I said in our review is it's different when you're having kids. I think her thing and his thing is a concept of what happens when we have kids. How are we going to raise our kids in a belief system? And what belief system are we going to raise our kids in? And how do I navigate that? But like I said, you have time, because if y'all not having kids within the next 3 months or 6 months, you have time to build relationship up and build your standard up to get to the point. Like maybe she'll go to church with you. She'll go to the Christmas function or the Christmas service. Maybe she a CME member. You know what I'm saying? Christmas, Mother's Day, and Easter. So you never know what she may become, right? But again, you gotta build those up, and I think that relationship will work over a period of time.
And the other thing is, okay, remember she's got a health challenge too. So while you talk, they definitely ain't having no kids no time soon, because we don't know what her health challenge has to, what implications her health has on that. So that's definitely something you can cross. That's a bridge you can cross when you get to it, which will be later. But I like them. They're really cute. They get along really well. Their friends got along well. I just like them. And I like that he asked her friends that question too. Okay, so you've seen her ex-boyfriends. What do I need to do not to be one of them? And he's doing it. He's openly communicating with her. They're having, good conversations. If it's too heavy for that moment, they're coming back to it later, which, like you said, a lot of us, you get on with your day, you forget about it. At least, and if he forgets, or if she brings it up, it's looking like, if she's like, hey, you said we talk about this later, he won't be like, well, I still don't want to talk about it. He's like, okay, yeah, I forgot. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
And she said they're building a really solid friendship, and that is the basis of a good relationship and a good marriage. So you
got to be friends. We were friends first.
We was friends first, and when you friends, you can share everything, and y'all can appreciate each other, and you even laugh about the silly stuff that you do, right? The dumb stuff with the rough argument. Yeah. Laugh about that stuff later on. Like,
right.
We argue over that. Like, man, hey, like that junk was stupid. You build that relationship, so that's a good thing there. But I I really enjoyed them. I thought their party was good, and they are the sunshine of the show.
Yeah,
they certainly are.
Yeah,
certainly are.
They're the sunshine of the show. So, let's get to this train wreck right here. The final couple, right? Man, it's amazing when you got like 3 couples. Time goes by fast, right?
Man.
Emily and Brennan. And I start with Jack. Your thoughts on Emily and Brennan, Jack?
Okay. I thought, if they're moving in together, it would be like, okay, but he complained about him bringing 2 things. She had 18 things. He didn't help her bring the stuff in. When it came to the food, he didn't help her. He commented on the fact that, oh, look at what everything she's doing with one arm, with one hand. I was like, he's a prick. And I don't know how much of that is just, again, I don't know how much of that is cultural. if that's, his family, if that's how, he grew up. He's a prick though. I appreciated her friends digging in him like they did. They're real friends. I expect my friends to do the same thing. Grill them,
Get him.
grill them. And he was like, where's this coming from? Then the only thing I didn't like is the one friend let it slip. The other one was like, hey, you weren't supposed to say that. But she was like, you've been making filming miserable. And she Greenwig was like, too late. I already said it. And he was like, wait, what you talking about? What she been telling y'all? But I don't know. I don't think he was ready. He may have been ready to be married, but definitely not ready for Married at First Sight. And definitely, besides Married at First Sight, you wasn't ready to be on a reality show. There are cameras. There's production. What?
Right. Yep. This TV, they're like, no one told you this. I'm sure they have pre-meetings, right?
I hate when they have people on the show like that.
They have pre-meetings going into this show. And I know they let you may be filmed all the time. There may be people in your life. There may be cameras everywhere you go. The only private place you got is the bathroom. This, that, and the other, right? They think you have those moments. But, dog, I think he is to the point where these lights, these cameras, all this stuff has just got my mind just blown. And he does not respond to it. Plus, he's holding up an image for TV, right? Because at the end of the day, in his mind, he's thinking, I have to be able to go home after the show is over. My parents have to see me. My family, my friends, my coworkers, all this stuff. And I need to make sure that I am coming off in a good light. I don't want to be a butt, but all this, I was telling Jack, for him to try to not come off like a butt
you're coming off like a butt.
Right. Like it just doesn't make sense that you're trying this hard to look like a decent person on TV when in reality this is making you look like an a-hole. Just be yourself. That's the most natural thing you can be is yourself.
The problem is being himself. Himself is an a-hole.
right. And that's the thing. It's like your true self is showing.
Yeah.
How much of that is his Russian background? Because that's
what I said. I don't know.
He's Russian.
Yes, he's Russian.
Yeah, his parents are full-blooded Russian.
Like his dad drinks vodka like water. He said.
Oh, see, I didn't pay that any mind.
Yeah, and the biggest thing he said too was he never wants to get divorced, right? And I told Jack in our review, and I'll tell you, put out there to you guys in chat land, is if you don't never want to get divorced, you're not acting like you don't want to get divorced, because the way that you treating this woman and the way that you putting her down, the way you're not being friendly or being loving or being caring or telling her she ugly, that you're not attracted to her without saying you're not attracted to her, is leading her one way to divorce.
Right, because it's like, how don't you tell this woman if she's attractive? She's not ugly.
No.
She's a very pretty girl.
Good personality.
Look, I just heard Rick James.
I did too.
Me too.
I did too.
In my head, I heard Rick James.
I heard it too.
I heard it. Very pretty girl.
Like, you don't bring home to mother.
Right? You would never get the spirit down.
Yeah.
No, but she's a pretty girl. She's very attractive, and for him to act the way that he's acting, it's like hey, homeboy, it's weird. Like what is your end goal in this whole thing, right? What are you trying to actually do with this woman? Because if it's not sticking together, then you're wasting a lot of time. So it's frustrating to everybody else because we see your slip showing.
Yes.
We see that you're being fake, and she said that on the after party. This is the one time that I watched the after party before I got on here, and she was like, he's two people, and she's having to pitch these two people together to figure out who he is. Him, like, I think he had all rights to be on the defensive when he was talking to her friends, because like, yeah, what naturally, what are you gonna do if I'm feeling attacked, or if I am attacked, I'm going to defend myself.
Absolutely.
The thing that I didn't like was this woman does have one arm, and she bringing up all this stuff, and you just standing in the kitchen judging her. Like, bro, help her out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get that.
Yeah.
Like help it pull her stuff in, and just do what you need to do to get this stuff in here. You know what you say? What was your Artiga said mad because she bought some ketchup.
Right.
Because she want to stack the cabinets with extra toilet paper, right? Because she wants to bring extra ranch dressing.
Right. Like she's moving in. Like I'm here for the next 8 weeks, and he just bought 2 things in so he can go back to his apartment on the weekend.
That's
Or
it.
something like that. But it makes it seem like you hiding something. I'm looking at what D Brown just said. Yeah, like a switch happened from the honeymoon to moving into the apartment, or like getting to the apartment. Something happens, like
he don't want
bad hygiene or something like that. But those are things you have to talk about.
But maybe he doesn't like her freakiness behavior or drinking, but it's not even. I think he didn't like the fact that she's very strong-willed, and I think when she called him out about having fun and all that other stuff, he was like, "Nah, you don't talk to me like that."
Yeah,
like you don't do that to me. I'm the guy, and he doesn't want to go off like that because even when he thought the camera wasn't rolling, when they were talking about the fun, you saw a little bit of that.
Yeah,
like, oh no, you're not gonna talk to me like that. Again, it may be his culture, his history, his heritage, or whatever he is, but yeah, you can see.
I know one thing I forgot about too. Because of course everybody's got a tagline. So for him, it's like divorce is not an option. And what he said was, hopefully living together will help them get close together. And he's saying there's no divorce, so they have to work it out. And then they talked about the fact that she noticed he'd been taking long showers. And he's like, he be in the shower processing.
He be in the shower processing, dog.
You using all my water. You been in the shower 15 minutes, bro.
Look, he ain't paying for that water. He in there. Like he's
no, but I'm just saying, like, goodness.
He's
that's why you been in the shower. He was like, yeah, like I'm trying to figure out how to work this out.
He's contemplating life in the shower.
Yes.
He's making major life decisions up there.
Major life decisions while the hot water coming down. Major life decisions, right? Like
in a music video, ain't he?
He didn't talking to himself like, you said divorce wasn't an option. And the other voice is like, but I don't really like her.
Right.
I don't know.
Her hair's matted up. I hated the matted hair.
It was dirty. She couldn't even wash it.
Like, I mean, if that's the issue, right?
Say it.
Say that.
Say it.
Hey man, your hygiene ain't what I thought it should be. Figure out how to say it now. You can't just say you stinking nasty.
Right.
And and think that's appropriate, but figure out how to say it, and stuff like that. And like say what the issue is, because then we know we can approach a solution for this issue.
She operated not like she's ugly. Like you looked at her, and when she came down the aisle, you were like, oh, she's pretty, she's nice, unless she was lying, right?
Right.
But again, he was attracted to her up until the point where she fronted you, and then you couldn't handle it.
Right. Yeah. I was gonna say we all have eyes. We can see that she's, it's nothing wrong, from the outside. You know what I'm saying? Like she got all her limbs, got her fingers and toes, seemingly.
And she's strong-willed. I think that's the point. I go back to that. It's almost borderline. I don't want to use the word abusive, but it's almost kind of borderline abusive.
But this we talked about. I almost forgot. This is what we talked about when we were actually watching the episode. It's not. I think he's having a little bit of Brett and Ryan. So everybody has a preference.
Red
hair. Everybody has a preference, and that's fine. You know what I mean? And so maybe she's just not your preference, and that's like you're stuck in that. I think he's stuck in that. I really don't think it's nothing wrong with her. It's just something he would prefer.
Yeah,
that's what I really think. And as much as we hated Ryan for saying it to Brett, but he was like, I usually don't like redheads. I don't like redheads.
Gina said
I didn't want a redhead.
Gina said that to Clint.
Yeah, she said, I don't prefer gingers,
Gina, okay, I got you. Yeah, man, y'all be throwing these folks out there. I'll be like,
We forgot you forget them. You forget their names when the season
Yeah,
is over.
man.
Yeah, like Thomas said, season over. Like I forget that. I told him my mental Rolodex, right?
But yeah,
right. They in there, but they
yeah, same thing with Mindy and what was his name?
Zach.
Mindy
Zach.
and Zach. You
I
know,
remember them.
it's okay for you to have a preference. That's fine, you know. But again, say that to her. It's not that I think you're ugly or attractive, girl. You're just not what I'm used to dating.
But you know what? The show will keep them together because you can't get another couple who break up in the middle.
Man.
Because we be down to 2 couples then, dog.
Right,
like,
right. But it's even crazy then when you say like, okay, this is not my preference or whatnot. But the thing is, it's like you know how this show works. Because you know how this show works,
We assume he does.
You have to lean into that. Maybe she's not your preference. Maybe he's not your preference. Lean into the fact that you're trying to get to know this person.
Right.
You're trying to make a decision on if this person is worth me continuing on after these 8 weeks. Continuing on with this relationship because they're in a full-blown relationship.
Yeah.
I would even take it a step further, and this is the mannish mind in me is what are truly the things that I want out of this woman? You know, do I just want to have sex with this woman? Do I really want to have a good time? Do I enjoy the time with her? You know, think of all those things and figure it out. Don't go in like, oh, she has blonde hair or you know, I don't like how her hair is set up, or you know, she got all this stuff. She's so free, she drinks a lot and all this stuff. But does she make you happy? You know, is her vices causing harm to herself? Because you know, if she drinks a lot and she's like a alcoholic, yeah, nobody's attracted to an alcoholic, especially a stranger. But when we go out, she drinks, she have a drink, and she has a good time, and I have a good time. Is that worth you continuing on in this experiment? You know, is that worth like going past the decision day? And that's the thing. But you like, am I being the person that she needs me to be? Have we talked about that? You know, so you never get to those conversations because it's too focused on just trying to present a person.
Yeah,
I feel like in what's his name, Brennan. In Brennan's case, I feel like he's trying to present this person on TV so that when we're looking at him on TV, we don't have, you know, a true deal on him. We're not gonna say anything bad about him, or you know, and that tells me he's been watching the show. You know.
Yeah, I think you said that last week.
Some show.
I think you said that last week. I think a lot more people can start watching the shows. A lot more people will be looking at this and looking at the show like, hey, you know what? I don't want to be like this, so I don't want to be like a Hurricane K. I don't want to be like a Alexis, and so I'm gonna start doing and acting and portraying as if I'm something other, or I'm gonna put on a persona, but I'm gonna show you who I really am in the background. It's that again, reality TV is not really reality because some people are not showing who they truly are. They're giving you. We talk about like Kirsten and what's her name?
Shaq.
And Shaq, right? She gave you a view of her. I think the best one was from Boston, Katina and Elijah one. Katina would do certain things on camera, but when the camera went off, she would give Elijah one the business.
What's her name? Like Sheila and Nate.
Yeah, Sheila and Nate.
Yeah, Sheila would talk to Nate. I can't remember what's
that was in Chicago.
Yes.
Yeah. Sheila was like, you know, certain things that they didn't want to talk about on camera. They had made that agreement, you know. But you said that, it made me think about something about being on the camera. Shoot, I just lost my train of thought. About how you present.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You gotta present. You gotta present well, man.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. You can
be yourself. At the time, the camera should be. You shouldn't even notice them anymore.
Yeah, you should be like, oh, it's a camera here, but I'm gonna say what I got to say.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do what I got to do. Just like it's for me. It's frustrating as a consumer to see it, and you're like, man, just let whatever it is that you're trying to hide, just let it go. Like, you don't got to come on here and tell them about your financial situation. Nope. Like certain things you can keep secret,
right?
But your feelings have to be open. You have to be open to expressing your feelings.
I know we run through our mental Rolodex. Steve did that. Steve ain't tell nobody what kind of job he had, right? He ain't tell nobody what he was doing for a living.
But the thing about Steve was fun trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
You know, like we knew Steve was straight because this dude had went on across the East Coast trip and like after he right, still holding down the place of residence. Like it was fun trying to figure out what he did.
Right.
Right. Like he ain't working like 6 months, but he still got enough. You know, he living well. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He ain't struggling eating peanut butter and jelly sandwich and ramen noodles. That's too much salt in them. Anyway, neither here nor there.
That my little girl loves.
Yeah, my little girl. Right.
Wait, just let her get older and she realized, like, man, that stuff here.
I know.
That stuff's terrible.
I know. But
you know, it's just those things. But I think, all right, here we go. Which couples do you think make it?
Back in Austin.
One couple. One.
Look, it's already a bad season, right? Because we're down 2 couples because you got to count they started with 5.
Right.
We're already down 2 couples. It's just episode what 9, 10.
Yeah.
So you Claire and Cameron ain't making this thing easy at all. He has to completely do a 180 and open up a little bit. Brennan, like, bruh, that's like, why would she put herself through that?
Right.
You know what? Like, that's a definite no. Becca and Austin are the only 2 that seem like if they ran into an issue, right? They still would have a chance to and an opportunity to say, okay, let's look at this thing.
And they're getting along so well, it makes you be like, what issue would they run into that would have them like, what?
It's still be look until she gets sick and he realized he can handle that and handle all this.
But that's a major thing.
That's a major thing. Yeah.
We all know we get into petty arguments.
Oh yeah.
And we've seen from our experience at reviewing the show, looking at the show, and being fans of the show, we've seen that the petty arguments can cause a person to say no. So like us seeing them like episode 9 and we haven't seen them have any type of argument, we know it's coming. And if it don't come, we know that after the thing, they're gonna have like at the reunion, they're gonna say, "Yeah, we got into an argument here, boo, and we still together, or we're not." But I think they have the best opportunity to get together because of how they resolve, how they communicate with each other now. Like they building a great foundation with communication, and it's crazy, you know. I do think with Becca and Austin, her health issues will be a major one, and the religion.
Yeah,
I think with Cameron and Claire, because Cameron said that he doesn't want to raise his children religious, and he basically seems to not want to like take away from it and stuff like that. So it's like, man, I don't see them going anywhere.
Nah,
it's hard to say that they're gonna make it to the end. Now that we see that 2 couples already quit on them, we're gonna be sitting up here
that's
reviewing.
What we should be taking. That's what we should be taking. Who's gonna make it to? I could feel Emily and Brennan being like, forget it. Before we even get to decision day, I can see Claire and Cameron being like, forget it before decision day.
I see Claire, like if we had to choose between one of those couples, I would say Claire and Cameron more than I would say Brennan and Emily. Is it Emily?
Yeah.
And the only reason because Brennan is trying to save face because he's gonna do whatever he has to do to stay on TV.
Yeah, because both of them said they don't want to be married. So I mean, both of them said they don't want no divorces. So I think they were both gonna try to do it until the end. And Jake,
I don't.
But we all know they're gonna bring. It's a spoiler. They are gonna bring Michael back from what we read in the magazines.
Oh, they are.
Michael's gonna allegedly find a woman and they're gonna marry her. Now we don't know if that's because everybody else bowed out and they had to bring somebody else back on the show.
I think that's what happened.
Or whatever the case may be, right? But Michael will, from reading People magazine and stuff like that, they will finally eventually get Michael.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm curious to see how that works out because that'll be a first.
Right.
Yes.
And that dynamic gonna be weird because like, do they go on a honeymoon too? Because everybody else is going, they can be on a honeymoon by themselves. So it's gonna be a whole different piece with him.
And do they shorten their time?
Yeah, do they shorten their weeks instead of 8 weeks, 4 weeks, or 5 weeks, or whatever case whenever it is he gets married?
I think they still should get the same amount of time.
I think so too.
You know what that means? This is gonna be another never-ending season. because you're gonna have to finish their 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably, you know what the
That's
problem
what
is.
Artika just said.
But you know what the problem is? I thought about this. Probably the reason that last season was a never-ending season was because they had so many hiccups this season, and they couldn't really finish producing stuff. They had so many hiccups with the Runaway Bride and Honeymoon, and people quitting that they had to extend last season. So remember, this season started late. Usually this usually starts in like July.
Man, they did season what? We on 17. They did 15 and 16 back to back.
Yeah.
We had like a week off, and then
boom,
they already at the picking. I'm like, bro, like I ain't finna look at all this.
Yeah, piece stuff together. So let us know what y'all think. Leave a comment in the comments.
Well, we already got one. No couples will make it.
Yeah, I try to stay away from spoilers just so I can give an authentic view. So if you guys know, it's fine. You drop spoilers in here. I just try to stay. I just try to stay away from them.
Yeah, I do too. I look at nothing.
Yeah, me neither.
If they say if somebody in the comments say, well, this happened, that happened, I just don't believe them until it does.
Right.
Yeah, so we just try to
but it's crazy that like we know the history of Married at First Sight. So it's like a success is getting one couple to say yes.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Which is sad.
Terrible. It's awful. And if your goal is to make sure that we match these people up right, you run into a lot of variables with that. And so, I don't have high hopes for the couples, especially this season. I don't have high hopes for like the couples, but it's like it's a bad season because we're at episode 10, 2 couples are out, and it looks like out of the 3 that's left, one of them can truly make a real decision. On decision day, because we all know and like if we were matched up with either one of the men, like that's a no. For sure.
Yeah.
So it is what it is on that, man. I just hate it. You kind of feel bad for the women this time because it's like Brennan's not helpful, Cameron is not helpful. Like they have to do so much work to really prepare them to like really get a yes. From the women that they're with. So
and nobody, and the guys are not open, man, and that's the problem. The guys are not opening up, or they close down, and if they open up, it becomes off as angry, mad, and upset. So
yeah
we've had a bad last about 3 seasons for real.
Who's on Artika said it ain't been good since New Orleans,
right?
I'm trying to think.
So even New Orleans was kind of rough with Miles and Karen.
No, I thought that was.
They say
they say Woody was pretty good.
No, I think they said but I mean, it was hard because they went through the pandemic and. If it wasn't for that, they wouldn't have been together. They just had extra time because of the pandemic.
Well, I think,
but they ain't together now.
Houston was okay.
Who's Houston?
That Hurricane Kate, and I don't think none of them made it.
No.
Nah.
Then Boston, nobody made it. Somebody made it, but it didn't last.
No, all of them said yes, and that pissed me off so bad.
Right.
I was like, why did all y'all say yes to this?
Like the Shark, and they didn't make it. Elijah and Katina, are they still married or are they off again? I don't know what they are.
I don't know what
they doing.
Yeah.
What was last
season? I agree with you. Watching After Party is a spoiler because I saw I can't remember what episode of After Party it was. Orion never had his ring on. And then there was the last after party.
He came on there with a ring.
Then he came on with a ring. I knew from his first after party that he didn't have a ring on, that it was, it wasn't there. So watch after party. You can tell by their demeanor. You can tell by their demeanor in their conversation. Like it is like none of these couples will probably make it. I haven't seen Becca or Austin on there yet. Have you? I think
Becca's been on there.
Becca been on there, been on there, but I haven't seen her demeanor on there.
I think Austin was on there. I don't think they've been on as much as the other ones.
I only watched one, and that was just today. I really don't get a chance to watch the after party a lot. One, because I don't be thinking about it. The other one is just. It's a better insight, on the episode. But
and I think Keisha Knight Pulliam does a great job. This is a question that might. I want to the comment. I wonder if this batch of people is a result of what current dating landscape is like.
Yeah, I think it is.
I don't know. I haven't dated anybody in 22 years, so I date my wife, but I haven't been on a date in like 22.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do.
I know, right?
I need instructions.
I always say I would have to go back. Like I would have to go back to somebody I already knew from before.
Yeah.
Somebody new, you don't know what the heck you gonna get. At least I know your mom and daddy, sister, brother. We went to school together or something.
Right.
At least I know who you are. You are who you say you are.
That too.
You know, I'd be upset. I'd be mad. So
it'll be, it'll be different,
it
just
definitely
to see. I hope it's not like that, man, because like some people, like the view of dealing with people, like I don't understand it. Like I'm gonna treat you how I want to be treated, as closely possible as I can, and I just don't get it.
Yeah, I can't get it, but yeah, man. So that's all we got this week, man.
Think about what it's like in the streets.
Right.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Hey.
It'd be like Martin, baby, please, like, baby, please,
man. Hey, please, let me do, please. Hey, we appreciate you guys for rocking with us, man. Thank y'all for just being with us, Tommy. We appreciate you, Artika. We appreciate you in the background. We appreciate you. Hey, go ahead
and to Lisa, even if she wasn't here for us
feel
today,
better, to Lisa.
Yeah.
Feel better. Hope you feel better. And Tommy, what you promoting, man? What you got?
Again, Love Brew on Saturdays, at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We got the merchandise, the shirts. They're comfortable, by the way. I like a comfortable t-shirt, the real soft cotton stuff.
Yes, I like that too.
Around. What else we got? What else? Christmas is coming up.
Right.
Happy holidays to everybody. The new year, got some new stuff there. And I'm still trying to find the time to work on some stuff. So there's that. Oh, subscribe, like, share all our videos, and everything like that. And, send us things to talk about. We always like, I enjoy the comments. Like, I hear me like, yeah, man, we talk about this, we talk about that. Give my expert analysis on everything.
I know, right? On everything, man. We do. We appreciate you guys for rocking with us. We appreciate everything. We still got, Married at First Sight, Ready to Love, Make a Move. I got to drop a video after this. I think we haven't put our Married at First Sight video out yet. We did it right before this, but we'll put it out here in a minute. And just keep rocking with us, keep tuning in, and keep checking all of us out. Talisa Ray, Chloe, August Love Story, everyone else, man. So we appreciate you guys for rocking with us.
Even Little Black Book.
Continue to catch Kojo out and check him out as well, because he has some good content over there. And we appreciate you guys. Thank y'all for watching us, and we'll talk to you down the road. Peace.
Peace.